Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of Off-Grid Gecko, the ongoing saga of watching me mess everything up off-grid. So it's bee check-in day. General rule of thumb, don't go into your beehive unless you have a reason or unless you can come up with a really good excuse to go into your beehive. I know bees are new to you, you really want to get in the hive all the time, I totally understand it. That's why there wasn't a video last weekend, because I didn't go in the hive. So we got some mission today while I'm getting the smoker going. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna make sure Queen Bee's still in there and still laying eggs. All the new brood have hatched out, so there's bees just buzzing around everywhere. Their population's probably up over the 20,000 mark, which is really good. In another 3 weeks, if she refilled all the empty brood chamber with new eggs and there's new larvae in there that have grown up to, pretty good sized little worms, then I'll give it another 3 weeks and they should be up to basically full strength, about 40,000 bees. If my calculations are correct. They're probably not. We're checking that, and the other thing I'm going to be checking is to make sure that they have enough room to grow. So 2 weeks ago I put in a frame of comb that I stole from them very early in the year when they didn't need it, and now that they're building up, I figured I'd give it back to them, supplemental support. So my little swarm catching box no longer has comb in it, but that's fine. Starting to think I'm not going to catch a swarm this year anyway, so I'm glad that I went ahead and bought the bees. In that respect, if you're thinking about buying bees, just go ahead and buy at least a hive. I mean, if you can get two, that's great, but at least one hive, then at least you'll have some bees, even if you don't catch them in swarm traps. That'll give you a little experience, and you get to have all this fun playing with bees. So I got the smoker going. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I put some wood in here usually to get it lit, and that wood will basically char up and charcoal up, and that'll keep my smoke fuel burning longer. And today for smoke fuel I'm using this piece of cordage that I made out of grass. A week and a half ago I was just wandering around out there bored and twisted some grass together into a rope. Look how pretty. I already did the grocery bag video into making rope. This is pretty much the same principle, but maybe I'll do a video on making rope from grass. Everybody else seems to have one. But rope is pretty good. It's concise. This isn't totally dried out, so it should make a lot of smoke and not burn real fast. Just go ahead and chuck that in there. Alright, so the little bugs are happy. It's really hot out here today. They seem to like hot, so it's like 85, and when the sun's beating down, it's like I can't walk around out here without getting all sweaty. So but that's what they like, hot and humid, so they're happy in there. I'm going to be looking forward to see if they need any extra space to grow. If they do, try to put this on the bottom. Most people will just set this right on top and then walk away, forget about it, not a big deal. That might be the best thing to do, but I don't know. I seem to think that building down is what they do when they're a new colony, and so when I get supers for honey, I'll be putting those on top, and any other boxes I'll be putting on top. But today, if they need the room, or when they need the room, this one will go on the bottom, and that way they can go ahead and start building down instead of having to build out right away. And maybe that'll spur them on to build a little extra comb. Look at all that smoke. Alright. Give them another little dusting. I'm not actually blowing into the hive, just across the entrance. Gets them all confused and out of sorts for a second. So I got my smoker. We'll pop that over here. I'm just going to put it on this hive box. And then we'll open this guy up and start with the rocks. The other day when I got stung, I was trying to work quickly. So I'm just going to try and take my time today. Just no great hurry other than keeping the disturbance of the bees down to a minimum. And I gotta be kind of careful how I put this stuff down today, because if I need to move this box, I have to do it in a very orderly fashion. So, as usual, I will go ahead and check the top here and make sure we're loose. And we seem to be. grab that and pull it off. Got a couple little girls in there. And this is a new queen, new bees. I don't know how testy they're going to be, so you need to be nice to them. Just sprinkle a little sugar water down in there on these girls. Give them something to think about for a minute. I bet this thing is glued down. Yep. So once they got a queen again, they started propolising everything. So that might be something to look for. If you're not getting any propolis on your hardware, that might be an indication that something's gone screwy with the queen. I don't know. I'm not a beekeeper. I'm just saying. Go ahead and just get all the corners on this. And the hum is increased, but I'm not sure if that's because they're happy about the sugar or if that's because they're pissed off about me going in here. We will find out here in a second. Ooh, look at all that burr comb. I forgot my my comb tool. There's one getting curious. So yeah, I may end up needing to smoke them, but I'm going to try with the sugar water first. They're building a lot of comb in here, so that's good. Unfortunately, they're also connecting a lot of this stuff together that I don't so much care for. And they might be getting fussy, so you know what? I'm not going to take any chances today. I mean, that did disrupt their temperature, so they could be fanning, but I'm going to go ahead and smoke them down a little. And they're not even paying any attention to the smoke. They're busy drinking up. I'm going to give them a minute to do that. I'm going to scrape off some of this burr comb off these girls over here. Propolize some of this. This is another thing. I was knocking these frames around a little because I was working so fast with them. No roly-polies. I don't know why there's so many of them here. One of them's about to sting me on the elbow. What are y'all doing? Looks like they might be getting a little grouchy. These guys are building comb. Shut up, cat. More comb. So they're building lots of comb. They've got comb drawn out over here, not so much over there by the entrance. There's our roach. He's about to die. They all got the little yellow stripes on their butt. And it looks like these frames might have what we're looking for on them, but the next one definitely has what we're looking for, so I'm going to skip that frame and go right for the gold right here. And let's see what they're doing on here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Nice and easy. Straight up and out. We have capped. So there's a couple honey cells on here. There's a couple drone cells down at the bottom. No big deal, it's that time of year. They're building extra comb at the bottom, but it looks like just burr. It doesn't look like any queen cells or anything. And this is kind of heavy. I think those are capped brood. Yep, we got little worms over here on the right. We got capped brood in number. So they are building up very, very quickly. And there's more capped brood over there. There's some little ladder comb down on the bottom. They seem to be doing just fine. And there's a big old plop of ladder comb on the next one. I think I'm going to try and see if I can't get that out of there. Now for the fun part, we're going to break some comb, and they're not going to like that one bit. And I'm not worried so much about the cross comb. If I take it out, they're just going to rebuild it in the same exact spot. The stuff on top, I get rid of because I don't want to be pulling up frames when I'm pulling up the inner cover. This one's a little lighter, so expecting to see some broods. Alrighty, what we got here? And I see some jelly in there and some pollen. See what they look like on this side. We got brood. Brood, pollen, a little bit of honey, lots of royal jelly, lots of baby brood. There's babies everywhere, and this is the thing that I was talking about. All this comb down here on the bottom is not good. We don't want that. Look out, look out, look out. I don't want to smush anybody, but I do want to get this off of here. You guys don't need this. Ready? So put them down right there. Oh shit, that one's got brood in it. Probably not a good idea to scrape it off with babies inside, but we'll see what they do. Alright, everybody out of the way. Come on, move, move, move. Alright, we get to sit in the shade for a minute. So I feel kind of bad. They were building this comb on the bottom of one of the frames. I spotted it and went scraping it off. It's really, really soft. It's fresh comb. This is what beeswax is supposed to look like, except it's usually white. But inside here is little baby broods. There's a bunch in the other piece too. There's still a few nurse bees clinging onto it. They're just these little worms, and these ones are all dead now. It doesn't take very long, but they're just, you see that? It looks like a little gummy worm. Just a little brood babies. You can eat these, but that would be kind of disrespectful to them at this point, even though I've already destroyed their little brood chamber. I feel really, really bad about it, but you know, I scraped the comb off. I don't want it in there, down there at the bottom where it's fixing all the frames down, especially if I have to give them extra frames, which I don't this week, but I may next week. So I'm gonna have to open the hive and see where they're at next week before I throw that box in there. But yeah, you've got all different shapes and sizes. So you got little bitty teeny tiny ones that are probably just hatched a day or two out. Like this one right here. Sorry for the camera. See how they're all different sizes, and then you got these fat ones down here. They're those are, you know, 4 or 5 days since they hatched, so they're almost ready for capping. They're getting pretty large. Now they do have plenty of brood in there, so this is not. It's not a loss that's going to kill them. It's just I do feel kind of bad about it. Because it's like they're little babies, you know, and I've got another one of these that's just full of little larvae over there. Poor little worms. And some of these, the smaller ones, you could actually take and start feeding them a special diet and turn them into queens if you were a queen breeder. So I guess this is one potential source to get larvae, but this isn't even worth getting the wax out of. So put that over there far away where nobody can get to it, or at least the moths don't associate it, hopefully, with their home over here. But other than that, everything looks fantastic. I didn't see the queen, wasn't really looking for her. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't looking for her at all. Because I don't care. As long as I see babies in there and capped brood, we're good, they're doing their thing. So I'm just to let them do their thing. Only pulled a couple frames, that's all I needed to see. And I didn't get stung, so maybe the camera's just good luck. But other than that, they're good to go. I'm gonna let them go. I'm gonna put all this stuff up, and I hope to see you guys later. Stay tuned. Bye.